I think you're right, that was a spooky word.
Two directions.
What I was talking to oh, I heard my name.
I would say
So I have trouble on the back road.
he's got his eye on you.
No, he's feeling better. He just feels it in the back road. It's okay, sir. Oh, sir.
She doesn't know me very well.
No. Oh, my God. You gotta make friends with Ken. Okay. Like, I don't.
Call this meeting to order. Do roll call: Michael Benrose,
Here.
Lawrence Diedrich,
Here.
Karen Breedley, Jennifer Lemke, Amanda Rose, Mark Rush, Adam Turnbull.
Here.
And then I would like to entertain a motion to appoint a president pro tem for the meeting.
I would like to nominate Butch as the president pro tem for this meeting. I'll second it.
Butch has been nominated to step in as president pro tem. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
First thing on the agenda is pledge allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Citizens' comments. The chair will recognize any citizen that would like to comment at this time. All discussion and any action will be referred to the proper committee for future agenda consideration.
Hello, Pam Schott from 149 Martin Street.
So anyways, 149 Martin Street's my address. I have two things that I just wanted to comment on. No disrespect to the police officer here, but I was walking a 1-month-old baby across the street a couple weeks ago to the ice cream shop. There had to be 20 people, if not more than that, in line, and an officer decided to turn on his lights and fly down that street, probably 45 miles an hour. Could have hit anybody that had walked out in that street, would not have been able to stop. I think that's excessive. Went over the tracks. I had probably 4 or 5 adults commenting outside of the ice cream shop about how ridiculous it was. I think that cops are important and I respect them. I also think they're here to protect and serve us, not to just be showing off to people. They stopped down there, then they were talking to someone that had a kid, and then they had their lights on again. And then there was a rescue call up by the school area, and he proceeded to turn his lights on and fly back up right past the ice cream shop with all them people again, when he could have gone up Martin Street if he was gonna go super fast. I just didn't think it was appropriate, and I think that we should need to stay in check with them. My other comment was about the, big extravaganza thing. I think that you guys next year maybe wanna check out whether or not they need to block both streets. There were very few people there. It was said that all the businesses were asked, if they were okay with it. That is not true. I talked to 2 business owners that were not asked. They could have very easily had them all in one street. There was a huge party at Pat's in the evening. They had like a 50th birthday. Nobody could park there, and it was blocked off till 8 o'clock, and there was hardly anybody there. I came by twice. There were 2 people in the street. I think it's cool that they want to do things, but maybe not blocking off the whole town for businesses that are open. Until it gets big anyway, at least. Maybe. Thank you.
Anybody else? Approval of minutes, motion to approve the minutes from the regular board meeting July 14th, 2026, and the special meeting July 16th, 2026.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the regular board meeting on July 14th, 2026, and the special meeting on July 16th, 2026.
Motion made and seconded, is there any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Approval of invoices. Motion to approve the invoices as submitted. You have both the regular invoices and the last minute ones. The add-ons.
I know it was brought up at the finance meeting, the, DNR replacement for town bank, that was a duplicate from last month because it was written out of the wrong account, is that correct? Why that's on there again?
Is that on the add-ons?
Nope, it's on the regular one, page 4, the very first one. I just remember there was some discussion about, at the finance, but I wasn't quite understanding what was said.
I'm not sure, I'll have to check. It should be quarterly, so they should be on the 3rd one. I'll double check.
Okay, because I thought you had said at that time it was a reprint, something that it was drafted out of the wrong account. something like
And that might be what that is,
Okay.
because it's supposed to come out of O&M, which this is, I can tell by the account number. And I think the one that we were looking at before was
that.
general fund.
Okay, yeah.
I will make a motion that we approve the invoices for the month.
I'll second it.
Motion made and seconded. Is there any other information. Motion. The motion's been made and seconded, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Library, Brittany James.
Good evening, everyone. Our summer reading program has wrapped up for the summer. We ended up with 21 children's reading walks turned in and 23 adults, as well as 30 raffle tickets entered in to win the dinosaur that traveled around businesses around town this summer. Our new employee, Matthew, he started last week, and he so far has been a great asset to our team, and I'm really looking forward to working with him on the programs in the future. And our last one for the librarian program is this Saturday, so if you want free Jimmy John's, it's 11 to 1 outside the library.
Thank you. Police Department report. Casey.
You all have the administrator report up there. I'll just go through it real quick. National Night Out was very, very well attended. The Village Extravaganza went without any problems. Montana State Police conducted a traffic stop on the driver of the fraud complaint that was working. I got a call from their supervisor, and we are having it's a governor's letter to extradite that subject back to Wisconsin to stand trial for the charges of the fraud complaint that I worked on. So that's in the process as of right now. As of this morning, the chief and Officer Fell met with the school principal and administrator to involve the PD with activities with the school throughout the year. I know Officer Fell wants to get more involved with reading to the kids and everything in some of the classrooms. So I can see us getting more involved with that type of thing at the school. Chief is reviewing departmental policies this month and will be updating, adding some as needed. August 13th, the department heads, I believe it's going to be the 14th, not the 13th. Department heads will be having a meeting with FirstNet on AT&T exploring other cell phone and Wi-Fi options. We had an issue on the 4th of July with the amount of people that we had in the village. None of our cell phones were working because of the towers and everything here, so we're going to look at some different options with that. As of today's date, the department has recorded 553 calls of service from July 9th to August 5th. Total number for 2026 is 5,354. Major investigations this month, 2 sexual assaults, which are the same, just things go slowly with that type of stuff, waiting for evidence to come in and everything like that, so still working on that. Search warrant that we conducted on South Street, and then more, another one of the fraud complaints that I'm working. Didn't use the flock camera at all this month. Community trials 1, circuit court none. Haven't received anything from Allison as far as property compliance stuff. And then we'll be involved in the rounding north. I know the chief did mention at the public safety about the squad car going down Baldwin. I know he did address that in the chief's corner with the officers, making sure that we're being appropriate with our speeds and how we drive around the village. The only thing that we ask, and we ask from you guys and then the citizens, is if they observe something happen, let the chief or I know right away so we can address it. Because we have a hard time going back and trying to figure out what officer we need to talk to in regards to how they're conducting themselves out in public. We get the complaint, yeah, it happened sometime last week, I'm not sure when, it happened maybe around this time. That's hard for us to go back and look and try to track down who was doing it, so if there is a complaint, please, if you don't feel comfortable coming to me, go to the chief, let us address it, that way it's a little bit easier to do. You can see our village, our squad mileage, the chief is at the chief's conference from Monday to Wednesday, that's why he's not here today. And I will be attending a CART training for Amber Alert and investigative strategies on the 18th and 19th. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you. Sharon Fire and Rescue reports. Carl.
Hello. You also have my report in front of you. I won't make you listen to me read it all. Month started off kind of busy. The July 3rd storm impacted the township much more than the village, but a lot of good work out there between the township employees and the sheriff's office to get things cleaned up. Luckily, nothing too terribly serious for what it was. 4th of July went pretty well for the fire department side of things. No issues with us either. We did have one small garbage fire next to the house later in the evening from some fireworks that somebody properly disposed of, but he got there, put some fire extinguishers on it, and went and cleaned it up, so no real issues there. Otherwise, Bruce secured a grant for $7,500 for, our large diameter hose. You guys remember from last year after we hose tested, we lost about 700 feet of that, and it's about $1,000 a section, so we were able to buy some last year, but this is good for us to kind of get back up to where we need to be. Bruce has secured over $1 million worth of grants for Sharon Fire and Rescue, so I just want to throw that out there. I think these grant cycles are probably going to start drying up soon, so that's why you'll see one of the agenda items is new turnout gear, just trying to be a little bit proactive and replace some of this stuff before it's in total disrepair and we have to buy it all at once. The last two to three big turnout gear purchases have all been grant funded, along with our last fire engine and things like that. So it's a pretty big impact. If it doesn't stick around, it's tough for us. So that's about all I got. Anything for me?
Thank you. Next thing, fire department turnout gear purchase. Motion to approve the finance committee recommendation to purchase 2 sets of turnout gear for the fire department.
I'll make a motion to approve the purchase of, the fire department request for the turnout gear purchase.
I'll second it. Motion made and seconded. Is there any other discussion?
I was gonna ask, is it 2 sets or 1? It's for 2, right?
Yeah, sorry, Sharon.
It's 2.
No other further discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. EMS billing rates, motion to approve the increase in the EMS billing rates.
Make a motion to approve the EMS billing rates. I'll second.
Motion made and seconded to approve the EMS billing rates. Any other discussion?
This has to go to Darien, the town of Darien, village Darien, like, everybody has to agree, correct? Like, we're just one part of
Right.
this.
Town of Sharon was the latest one day, right?
Okay.
No further discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. EMS pay scale increase, motion to approve the increase for shared services EMS pay scale.
What is the proposal, the line in red here? I guess you guys
Yeah,
don't have
be
it
the
all.
second column, you know, from 26 to 27.
Under 2027 wages.
I believe the 2027 wages don't have this stuff.
Okay.
I don't have it.
And did we just go like, an average of the area, and that's what we went with? or-
That was that second worksheet that was attached to that. I believe there was a comparison, and actually this is part of a bigger discussion, I believe there's a meeting scheduled in a couple weeks. We keep pulling more and more data. Basically, we found that we're not even slightly competitive right now, and that's a big part of our recruiting issue. Our top paid employee is not even paying starting wages of other employees in other fire departments in the area, so we're just trying to play a little bit of catch up, so hopefully recruit some people, retain people to do that.
I'll make the motion to approve the increase for shared services EMS pay scale.
I'll second it.
Motion made and seconded. Any other discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Municipal court enforcement, discussion action on the scope of work for municipal code enforcement through the end of the year.
She has reached her budget. The invoice today, I think, is gonna make her go over to $3,000. And so at, public safety, we talked about, stopping the landlord. We're gonna relook at that, landlord ordinance and those inspections. And, using the police department for where we can for these issues that may come up to her. And only use the municipal codes enforcement for complaints that the police department can't handle. That was a thought at the public safety.
Since we're already maxed out our budget, should that perhaps come before the board as, like, if we need her, like, would that need to come before the board to approve basically a special amount?
It's not that that's a bad idea, but then you're a whole nother month behind.
Unfortunately, that's kind of where we're at though. Like, you know, we spent all our money, so, and we have 5 months left of the year. So
I
we're,
know.
Should we continue this following year?
Hmm?
If we continue the way we would be going now, the following year, we'd be saving off of that. You know, I'd like to see it diminished in general.
yeah, I think this needs to be a broader discussion, because, I mean, they, you know, it's not just one person, it is a company, and they are breach of contract by charging over and above. They're contracted to spend no more than 10 hours per month, or per week, for a total of 40 hours per month, and obviously, they've gone beyond that, and this isn't new, like, we have overspent year after year. It's been an ongoing discussion, so I think this needs to be a further discussion. I don't know if that goes to general ops to discuss the contract, budgeting talks coming up. I think it's a good time to discuss, especially since we're going to terminate or change the contract, we need to give 30 days notice. Because the contract itself is on an auto renew with a 3% rate. So now's kind of the time to discuss that going into budget talks. So would that be a finance meeting, or would that be a general ops meeting?
A finance meeting.
The contract would be financed, but if we wanted to do anything regarding, like the landlord,
Yeah, that would go to general ops.
Yeah, that landlord, the inspections when this is the year that they did Prairie Landing, that was a lot of money. That was a very lot of money, and, that ate up a lot of her budget.
so I have a comment about this landlord, rental inspection situation we had this year. I was given a letter by a resident who got it just last week on 7/31 and said that he required a rental inspection for his property. He's owned his home for 7 years. And when I sent a message to Allison's company, they talked about how there was a previous landlord inspector, and they created a master document, and they were talking in a bunch of things that I've never heard about. And so I'm wondering if they are following our landlord policy as we expect them to, or are they going off something else?
No, it's my understanding, Shannon actually is the one who years ago, when she did code enforcement, she, helped write that landlord ordinance. And that's what they're following.
Because what this letter says, this letter is signed by Allison, and it says that she is the code enforcement landlord licensing for the village of Sharon.
Mhm.
The email that I got was not from Allison. It was from another individual who also claimed to be the landlord license for the village of Sharon. So I think we have several things we need to discuss about this. So I think, I don't feel comfortable, doing an amendment to the budget to give her more money this year. I think we need to hit pause and figure out, is this program working in the best interest of all of us for the amount of money that we're spending? Because if you look at the budgeted amount for her salary, and then you look at the amount we brought in from ordinance violations, it doesn't even cover her salary.
Well, it won't.
Right.
You can't look at it like that.
Well, but you can if it's a complaint-driven system that is already in-house. If the police force works out good, we're already paying them. We could use the budgeted amount that we use for the code enforcement to maybe move it to some other, funds that could use it. Cause I got a feeling we have some contract discussions coming up in other departments in the next few years. So, the next months, yeah,
Well, I guess we can all go through all of that at
Yeah.
some point, but we need, I need something, I need you to decide what you wanna do with this, so I can tell Allison. If you want her to do nothing, then I will tell her she does nothing. But I don't know what to do with the complaints, if they come in. And there won't be a lot of them, because there's not gonna be anybody driving around, and they won't be paint your garage doors or that type of thing, you know, it's gonna be something
can that be a committee item for next month then? To
for,
to discuss what we will do with those complaints? Or is that a board item?
no, well, you gotta hold. I wanna tell her what to do right now. If you don't want her to do a darn thing, then please make that motion and I will tell her don't do a darn thing.
I make a motion that we pause all funding for the code enforcement on further discussion.
I'll second that.
Motion made and seconded to refund Allison for the remainder of the year. Any other discussion?
Is that till the remainder of the year, until committees work out? That motion.
She's over budget for the rest of the year.
Can I say something? You guys have a suggestion of what we do then if a complaint comes in regards to code enforcement? Is that something that we're supposed to handle on the police department side? Is that,
Well, typically, do you guys field any calls for code enforcement, or do they typically go through, like, the other side, the administrative office?
we don't see it because it goes right to
Right,
Allison's side.
so I
but
just didn't know if you guys would ever get, like, if anybody calls your side for that.
I think they're so used to having Allison around that those calls never come to our side. They just always go to her side or to Dawn. So we never see that aspect of it, but I think if it gets put on pause, then we will start seeing some of that. And the other thing that I addressed with the chief is if we do start seeing some of that stuff, is that something that you only want the chief to handle, or is that something that me as the sergeant can issue citations also along with the chief, so that way he's not the only one that is doing it? That was something that he wanted me to bring up tonight.
I would
I
tell you
didn't-
that you could do as well.
I mean, you enforce all municipal ordinances.
Correct.
So if somebody is in, I know it's gonna be tedious for you guys because that's not really what you specialize in, but if somebody's blatantly in violation, you get a complaint. I don't see why you couldn't write a ticket, but I would hope that you would, kind of go through the process of a warning or something to that effect. It's not going to be as streamlined as somebody that does it as a profession, where they specialize in that. But that's why I think we need to have a special meeting or discuss it at the committee level and come up with a procedure of how we're gonna handle this. Because this isn't obviously the first time Allison, her municipal code enforcement has gone significantly over budget. This needs to be addressed in a more holistic approach.
Right.
I would rather see the $20,000 go to the police department and maybe rework the whole way we do code enforcement, but that is part of a bigger discussion. Right now, legally, we can't really spend money we did not budget for.
So what happens with anything that's in the middle of being dealt with currently?
I guess it waits until we figure out what we're doing, or it could just be handed to the police department. And if it's egregious enough, like I'd have to look and see what the violations are. If it's a health and safety matter, then that's probably something that should be addressed by the police.
Well, you have the report from
Yeah.
July, so all of that, anything on there would still be hanging on.
In the police department's description, they, as Amanda mentioned, they are charged with enforcing all of our community ordinances. That would include some of our codes for property maintenance and things like that. So I think that list would probably end up on Chief or Casey's desk. And looking over the list, I don't think there's anything that's so pressing it needs to happen like by next month. So I don't
And the thing is with those is the chief will write the citation, but Allison, if they decide to take it to court, she would have to show up to court to explain why the chief is writing the citation. Now, if we're just doing the citation and cutting Allison out of it, then we would have to go investigate as to why we're writing that citation, because we would be the one going to court for it then. So there is, you know, some more steps to that if we decide to start taking that over right now until whatever you guys decide, but, you know, we can't just write the citation based off of her report, because we have absolutely no clue what she observed out there.
And this agenda item is basically discussing if we're going to go over budget. And we procedurally really can't go over budget without amending it, and that's a whole nother process, so that's why we made
That's why it's on there.
that's why we made the
That's why
motion.
we
That's
put it
been-
on there,
Right,
because it was going to go over.
so that's why,
We had decided in committee not to.
that's why the motion has been made and seconded.
Then we talked about, is Eric going to watch overgrown grass, which I think he still does.
He's the lead commissioner anyway.
Okay. Yeah, I do think some of this can be done in-house. I know it's gonna be maybe a different and a little more work, but,
It will be at first, but it's not nothing that we can't overcome.
yeah, I think it's a good idea.
There's
Rein it in a little bit.
several examples of the same type of scenario happening with the police and public works handling the bulk of the code enforcement.
All right. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. North Street Properties, motion to approve the notice of violation of occupancy permit number 38.04, letter drafted by Attorney Lockowitz, approved by the Plan Commission for North Street Properties LLC, Charles. Plan Commission has decided at this point to revoke the occupancy permit, as nothing has been presented to them in writing, and this time that's their recommendation.
So the way this motion reads is a little confusing, because it says the letter drafted by Attorney Lockowitz approved by the Plan Commission, but the Plan Commission did not approve this letter, is that correct?
He found that it needed, the board needed to make the decision about the letter, about the violation.
But the Plan Commission did not approve this letter.
Not that letter.
No.
And then my next question is, you know, speaking of code enforcement, I don't believe there are any outstanding, at least there's none on the report, code enforcement violations. Why was, revoking the occupancy permit the first step versus code enforcement sending out letters and doing enforcement that way?
In violation of his occupancy permit.
But,
Doesn't have anything to do with it. Zero.
but the complaints would be, like, I think it says, no outdoor storage, so that has been
That's
remedied.
on the permit.
Right, but that has been remedied.
It has, the trailer's moved. The
All
wood's
the-
going on it.
All the wood, last I drove by it was,
Just
Um,
go back to the.
and then the next one, property maintained in compliance with village, Sharon municipal and zoning ordinances, so that would be a zone, or a code enforcement, which if there was,
He's in violation of his permit, that's why.
but
we're
why,
moving forward.
why would there not have been code enforcement violations preceding this action?
We do a review.
It's more of a zoning violation.
But it's not a zoning violation because he doesn't have a conditional use permit. He has an occupancy permit, which every building has an occupancy permit. So, again, there have been no code enforcement actions taken against him saying that he is in violation of Sharon municipal ordinances.
He's in violation of his permit. So I make the motion, we proceed.
I'll second it.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any other discussion?
Can I request a roll call vote, please?
Absolutely. in favor, say aye. Aye. Dawn, roll call?
Okay, let's see, Adam Turnbull,
No.
Mark Rush,
Yes.
Amanda Rose.
No.
Jennifer Lemke,
Yes.
Karen Greenlee,
Yes.
you said yes?
Yes.
And Michael Bimbo.
Yes.
5 yes, 2 no.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, Butch Eager.
Motion's been approved. Down to adjournment.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Is that you?
Those me.
Motion carries. Sorry I was late. Yeah. I did my best.
I leave Friday morning.
See you down.
Fly down.
Sorry, Karen.
Well, I'm sorry, Mike.
Leave the home